finish editing those videos today? Nope. So look who finally decided to start working on the video editing and the audio portion of this. Yeah, I fixed my hammer at least. That was fun. Alright, so basically after I started editing this, I realized I had 30 different clips of me hammering the same piece of steel, drawing it out over and over again. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here and speed up this whole process. This was supposed to be a 2-part series, and now it's going to end up being a 3-part series of me hammering a piece of tough steel. This particular type of steel is a little harder than most other kinds of steels, and a lot of blacksmiths don't like to work with this stuff. But I had it lying around, so I'm making a dang knife with it. You know, a lot of times after you see me hammering the steel, and I put it back in the forge, I usually edit out that part of the video, but it's just me wandering around tinkering, having a drink of water, because it does take time for the steel to heat back up. There's downtime, so you might see me messing with some other project on the side, or heating up a second piece of steel, or adjusting my hammer, or picking my butt. You never know. Now what I really need is a proper workshop with a nice 6-inch plus concrete slab, couple grand for a power hammer, 240 power supply, wall outlet. You know, that would speed up the process a lot. A nicer forge, proper hammer, and definitely not a Harbor Freight anvil. I love the Harbor Freight anvil because it's great to learn on. You know, I don't remember, it was like 50 bucks to buy. And you know, when you're first starting out blacksmithing, you're gonna miss the steel a lot, and you're gonna put a dent in the anvil. And when it's a Harbor Freight anvil, you don't care because it's trash. I mean, you don't want to accidentally put a dent in a $2,000 anvil. You know what I mean? So starting out, good old practice anvil, Harbor Freight one's just fine because you don't care when you break it, or you grind into the side of it, or you decide to try to reface it. Doesn't matter. It's garbage. Now, of all the things I'll tell you to be cheap on when starting out blacksmithing, one thing I encourage you to spend money on if you can is a good set of tongs. I didn't do that. I tried making my tongs from scratch. The tongs you're seeing here are like generation 6 of me trying to make good tongs. And making tongs without tongs can be tricky. So spend the money on some professionally made, a nice close grip set and a nice wide grip set, because it'll save you a lot of trouble. I do encourage learning to make your own tongs, but until you get to that point, you should definitely buy a decent set. I think my biggest problem when learning to blacksmith personally is I tried to do everything possible from scratch. My first forge was a charcoal forge, not a coal forge, a charcoal forge. That sucks. Charcoal throws sparks everywhere, hardly gets hot enough to make a dent in any steel, and it eats through it within 5 minutes. Coal was a great forge. Alright, you do need a power supply or some sort of blower to keep it hot, and it's tricky to work with. My problem with coal is there's a lot of coal dust, and if you have any respiratory issues, it will come back and kick you in the butt. Propane, on the other hand, it's quick to start up, quick to run. It's just initially learning how to make a propane forge can be tricky. I think the biggest thing about a propane forge is not about the heat source, it's learning about the insulation for it. For instance, a coal forge, it's really just a bed of coals with a blower in it, and it has enough heat to do what you need to do. The propane forge, you're going to have to learn about like your ceramic blankets, but you don't want those exposed to the air and the flame because it creates a safety hazard. So you learn about your refractory cements, which are expensive, and the non-expensive ones don't work. Trust me on that. And so you learn about different clays. What kind of clay can I line my forge with that is going to withstand the heat? And then you accidentally get into pottery and learning about all the different types of clays there are and where they come from and how they harden and whatnot, which is very interesting. And I think I settled on a kaolin clay was my best bet, and it's not a permanent solution. The forge decays over time and you have to reapply the clay. If you do have the money, spending it on a good refractory cement when you know what you're doing and your forge design is a good investment. Some good old fire bricks can work too, but you're going to need to think about the insulation behind the fire bricks because they are not going to hold the heat you want. They do make a good forge liner, don't get me wrong on that, but you're going to need that ceramic blanket behind them, good grout that's not going to melt in the dang heat, and, basic masonry stuff with fire bricks at extreme temperatures. In hindsight, watching a lot of these videos I made, I don't even know what half the junk in the background is there for. I'm sure it had a reason. I'm sure that grill hood had a good reason for being there at the time. But looking back at it now, I don't know why it's there whatsoever. So how do y'all feel about these background tracks I put in the video? I thought it'd be a nice little thing to listen to instead of hearing all of me droning on and the tack-tack-tacking of fast-forward hammering. But I don't know, I'm still new to this YouTube thing. I don't like editing, but I do like sharing what I do. So feel free to comment down below on your suggestions. Should I put a background track? Should I maybe use, I don't know, crazy heavy metal from the free YouTube music they provide in their little personal editor before you upload the video? Or keep doing what I'm doing, you know? There is one perk to making your own tongs, and it's that you don't feel bad when you need to tweak them. You stick the edge in the forge, heat it up, and you adjust it to the size you need. Big deal, you made some tongs, so if you break them, who cares? You know, the ones you buy, you may not want to do that too until you know what you're doing. But, you know, me here, I needed the tongs to grip just a little tighter in a certain area, so I heat the end up, straighten out the edge, and bam, cool it off, and I have a better set of tongs for my job at the time. Nice adaptable tools. Anytime I'm doing any of these shots, I always try to get a nice evening, dusk, you know, getting dark kind of shot, because I think the forge just looks so dang pretty in this shot. And if there's anything that y'all want to see me do with the forge, I don't care, melt something, as long as it's safe, of course. Don't be asking me to throw zinc in the forge. You don't burn zinc, trust me. But, you know, if there's something y'all want to see within reason, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see what I can do, you know? I don't just want to do, you know, videos of me hammering a piece of steel over and over again for days on days. Now folks, this pretty much wraps up part 2 of this video. I'm going to try to get part 3 out as soon as possible once I get done editing out my butt crack. I appreciate y'all for watching. Please like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. And I'll see you next time.